The magical world has been shaped by three devastating conflicts, each leaving deep scars on wizarding society. Let's explore these wars that defined generations. Grindelwald's Reign of Terror, 1920s to 1945. Long before Voldemort, another dark wizard threatened the magical world. Gellert Grindelwald emerged in the early 20th century with a chilling vision. Wizards should rule over non-magical people. His slogan, "For the greater good," masked a brutal ideology of magical supremacy. Grindelwald's story intertwines tragically with Albus Dumbledore's past. As young men, they were close friends who shared dangerous ambitions about wizard dominance and the legendary Deathly Hallows. Their bond shattered when Dumbledore's sister Ariana died during a chaotic three-way duel. Grindelwald disappeared, while Dumbledore renounced his dark dreams forever. Over the following decades, Grindelwald built a terrifying movement. He constructed Nurmengard as both prison and fortress, gathering followers across Europe. His vision was ruthless. Pure-blood wizards ruling at the top, half-bloods serving beneath them, and non-magical people enslaved like house elves. By the late 1930s, Grindelwald controlled much of continental Europe. He recruited giants and dark creatures, spreading chaos while the non-magical Second World War raged simultaneously. Yet Dumbledore couldn't act against him because of a blood pact they'd made in their youth, a magical oath preventing them from fighting each other. Everything changed in 1945. After Dumbledore finally broke free from the pact, he challenged Grindelwald to what became the most legendary duel in magical history. Despite wielding the Elder Wand, Grindelwald was defeated and imprisoned in his own fortress, where he remained until Voldemort killed him decades later. Voldemort's first rise, 1970 to 1981. The second great conflict began when Tom Riddle, now calling himself Lord Voldemort, launched his campaign for power. Starting around 1970, Voldemort's Death Eaters unleashed systematic terror across Britain. They murdered Muggleborns, half-bloods, and anyone opposing them, marking each killing with the Dark Mark hovering in the sky. Voldemort had prepared carefully. He'd created multiple Horcruxes, making himself nearly immortal by splitting his soul. He recruited not just wizard fanatics, but werewolves, giants, and dementors, building an overwhelming coalition of darkness. The Ministry of Magic crumbled under the assault. Paranoia infected everything. The Imperious Curse meant anyone could be an unwilling traitor. Dumbledore formed the Order of the Phoenix in 1971 to resist, but the cost was devastating. Entire families were massacred. Heroes fell one by one. The war's climax centered on a prophecy about a child who could defeat Voldemort. Targeting the Potters, Voldemort tracked them to Godric's Hollow on Halloween 1981. He killed James and Lily, then turned his wand on baby Harry. But Lily's sacrificial love created protection so powerful that Voldemort's curse rebounded, destroying his body and ending the war. The final battle, 1995 to 1998, 14 years later, Voldemort returned to physical form through dark ritual. The Ministry denied it for a year, giving him time to rebuild his forces. He freed his imprisoned followers from Azkaban and infiltrated the government from within. After Dumbledore's death in 1997, Voldemort seized complete control. He installed a puppet minister, established the Muggleborn Registration Commission, and transformed Hogwarts into an institution of cruelty and dark propaganda. Meanwhile, Harry, Ron, and Hermione hunted Horcruxes across Britain, destroying the anchors keeping Voldemort alive. Their mission culminated in the Battle of Hogwarts in 1998, the largest magical conflict ever fought. The final confrontation saw Harry willingly sacrifice himself, destroying the Horcrux within him while surviving through his mother's ancient protection. When Voldemort attacked him one last time, the Elder Wand, loyal to Harry, not Voldemort, caused the killing curse to rebound. Voldemort fell, ending 3 generations of dark wizarding wars. These conflicts reshaped the magical world, proving that love and sacrifice could triumph over even the darkest magic. Molly's signal. Remember when Harry was lost at King's Cross? Molly Weasley loudly asked the platform number, a detail she almost certainly knew, allowing Harry to safely follow the family to the barrier. This theory suggests her loud question was a deliberate, gentle signal establishing her protective care for the lost first year right from the start. Lily's cat Hermione's half-Kneazle was unwanted and had been at the magical menagerie for ages. This theory proposes he was the Potter's original cat, mentioned in Lily's letter to Sirius. His immediate recognition and hatred of Peter Pettigrew's animagus form suggests an unusual awareness, making him one of Harry's last living connections to his parents. James's gift. When we meet Professor Lupin, his battered case is noted to already bear the worn label, Professor R.J. Lupin, an odd detail for a new hire. The theory holds that his loyal friend, James Potter, gifted the case years earlier, stamping it with the profession Lupin dreamed of, but couldn't get due to his werewolf status. It's a beautiful symbol of faith and hope fulfilled. Moody's warning when Moody, actually Barty Crouch Jr., shows Harry the Order of the Phoenix photo, detailing the horrific fates of its smiling members, the theory suggests it wasn't casual. The hardened veteran was deliberately shocking Harry with the reality of war and its casualties, tempering the young wizard's eagerness with a sobering lesson on the cost of fighting Voldemort. Centaur trauma. Umbridge's unyielding ugliness, fueled by centaur trauma. While her cruelty was inherent, this theory claims her traumatic capture by the centaurs in the Forbidden Forest escalated her malice, especially toward Muggleborns like Hermione, who tricked her. Her later extreme zeal as head of the Muggleborn Registration Commission becomes a personal vendetta, born from humiliation and festering hatred. Grandparents murdered. Harry's grandparents were murdered. James and Lily died at a young age, and yet Harry had no grandparents, despite wizards often living long lives. The timing suggests Lily's Muggle parents, and potentially James's parents, were deliberately eliminated by Death Eaters before Voldemort moved on to the Potters. Petunia Dursley's line in a deleted scene, "You think I don't know what they're capable of?" lends credence to the idea that her parents were victims of the war, quietly erased. Ginny's potion. The sudden, overwhelming nature of Harry's attraction to Ginny in Half-Blood Prince is the basis for this dark theory. Given the Weasleys' familiarity with Amortentia, Molly used them, Fred and George sold them. Ginny may have used the powerful love potion to finally win Harry's affection, suggesting their entire future was rooted in magical manipulation rather than genuine love. Sirius's sacrifice. As chief warlock of the Wizengamot and a skilled legilimens, Dumbledore had the power and knowledge to prove Sirius innocent. This theory suggests he chose not to, because clearing Sirius would have meant sending Harry to live with his godfather, removing him from the protection of Lily's blood magic anchored at Privet Drive. He sacrificed Sirius's freedom for Harry's safety. Fetal Voldemort. The rudimentary, grotesque, baby-like form Voldemort takes in Goblet of Fire is explained as a fetus taken from the murdered Ministry employee, Bertha Jorkins, and animated by the Dark Lord. It's a disturbing interpretation that aligns with J.K. Rowling's hint that the first draft of this scene made her editor sick. Harry's coma. Harry's imagination. This theory argues that the entire wizarding world, from Hogwarts to the battles with Voldemort, is merely an elaborate coping fantasy. The abuse Harry suffered under the Dursleys was real, and his magical journey is an epic daydream, a psychological escape created by a neglected child. The happy ending simply becomes the continuation of a beautiful, yet ultimately fictional shield against a life of trauma. These theories prove the magic is alive, even when the answers are unsettling. Whether you prefer the warmth of Motherly Molly or the bleak reality of the coma theory, the depth of this fandom shows the true power of J.K. Rowling's creation.